feel like we need to talk about the playoffs. So as we all know, Austin Dillon won the race, and Martin Truex is not in the playoffs no more. So yeah, it's not as bad as it would be if Kurt took the waiver, because that means both Blaney and Truex wouldn't be in the playoffs. Keep in mind, they are 2nd and 5th, if I'm correct, in the regular season. And this year's playoffs just shows why the playoffs are stupid and bad. There's a smackhead and a guy who hasn't won in 4 years in the playoffs. Keep that in mind. And that smackhead has been shit all season. Same with the fucking... Like I was saying, the smackhead has been shit all season. And Richard Childress's daughter's crotch spawn has been shit since the 2018 Daytona 500. Like, even on the Super Speed, where everyone has a chance of winning, he has been trash. Trash. I mean, yeah, I like Austin Dillon, but he is trash. And Austin Cindric, I know it's his first season, but he's in a Penske. And where was he all season apart from the Daytona 500? Where was he all season apart from the Daytona 500? I know. Outside the top 10, fucking doing God. And then you got some drivers who should be in the playoffs that aren't. Prime example, Martin Truex. But they're not in the playoffs because they haven't won. Go back to the fucking Winston Cup form. I know I sound like an old man now, but every other series I can think of just has a regular point system. There's no playoff bullshit. It's just like, if you finish first, you get the most points. If you finish last, you get fuck all. Or maybe just 1 point just for showing up. And that's how NASCAR does it in the regular season. You get, I don't know, about 200 points if you win, plus your playoff points. And if you finish last, you get your 1 point with no playoff points. But what's the point of having the regular season? And like, what's the point of having the regular season if it's all just going to go to waste come round, what? How many races are there? There's like 10 races. So come round 26, the regular season finale, it's pointless. Because you got guys who haven't won and they'd be first, second, third in the regular season. But they can't fight for a championship because a guy who has been nowhere all season but got a lucky break at Daytona or Talladega or Atlanta now. Like, they got their lucky break, they won, and they are locked in. The only way they can lose their spot if they bust their head like Kurt Busch. And Kurt Busch is someone who should be in the playoffs, but now that he's bust his head, he can't. I am losing my train of thought because random about the playoffs is actually starting to get me mad. But you can ask anyone who's watched NASCAR, they all hate the playoffs. I only started watching NASCAR last year. Even I think the playoffs is bullshit. Because if you're going to have a playoff system and a regular point system, one of them becomes obsolete after week 26, then what's the point? So I have one or the other. So it's not even have one or the other. Just have a simple points format like everyone else. Like, first place gets X amount of points. Last place gets 0 or 1 point. And maybe you got your bonus points for fastest lap. You'd had the most laps. Simple. Just go back to how it was in 2003. So, fucking hell, man. I'm trying to keep composure because I'm probably just gonna start yelling. But please, NASCAR. I know they're not gonna see this, but just go back to the 2003 format you guys had, or just do it like how everyone in Europe does, and even your fellow counterparts at fucking IMSA and IndyCar. They have the most normal point system. I know IMSA, they got their split one, they got the Michelin Endurance Cup, and then you got the Sprint Cup season. But there's no bullshit. They know. It's just you got your Michelin Endurance Cup and your fucking Sprint Cup. There's no bullshit in between it. It doesn't affect either one. Like we saw last year. Hold on, this is gonna run out soon. Like we saw last year how Wayne Taylor got the Michelin Endurance Cup because they were best in the Endurance Cup rounds. I don't know if they add into your Sprint Cup. They probably don't. And then you got Action Express Whelan in the 31, all them guys. Sprint Cup because they were best in the Sprint Cup. But there's no, like, weird playoff. You know what I mean? I'm losing my train of thought, but you get the idea. Even in IndyCar, like yeah, they do double points for the Indy 500. Like we saw after the Indy 500, fucking Marcus Ericsson, he was in the lead in points for a while now. And it was only recently, I think was it mid? No, not middle. I can't remember which round exactly. He was passed, and now where's he sitting now? I think he sits about fourth now, because. So yeah, you got, like I said, you got Marcus Ericsson. He got his double points. Was in the lead of the championship in IndyCar for so long. Only recently, I think, who's leading now? Will Power passed him in points. Then Newgarden passed him in points. I think someone else has as well. He sits fourth right now. I don't know. It's not a Ganassi car. It probably is. Who knows? But this season of NASCAR just shows how chaotic the playoffs can get and why the playoffs should not be used in motorsport. I don't know about your ball sports, your stick sports, whatever the fuck. But this season is a clear example of why we don't need the playoffs. Anyway, that's my rant about the playoffs done. Yeah, it was fun. I hope whoever wins. Like I was saying, whoever wins, and fucking 2020. I just remembered 2020 is another season we should talk about. I'm not gonna get into it in this rant because I've said so much shit already. But the rundown: Kevin Harvick won 9 races. I think it was Martinsville, the one before the championship event. He tried to spin out Kyle Busch because he was getting desperate. I don't blame him. And well, yeah, he lost out. He couldn't compete for the championship, even though he's won the regular season, I think, and he's won the most races that season. And he was super consistent. Haas was fucking fast that year. Cole Custer got a win that year. That says a lot. So yeah, I just hope whoever deserves the playoffs gets the playoffs. That could be anyone. So, yeah.